Dogs are often seen as simple, loyal companions, but there's far more going on beneath the surface. Behind their behavior is a complex mix of instincts, emotions, and learned responses, from communication signals to deep social bonds with humans. In this video, we'll explore 20 dog facts that will shock every owner. Fact 1. Dogs were the first animal humans domesticated. Dogs were domesticated long before agriculture, making them the earliest known human-managed species. This relationship likely began when wolves scavenged near human camps and gradually formed cooperative bonds. Over time, this partnership shifted from opportunistic coexistence to intentional breeding. Dogs became integrated into hunting, protection, and companionship roles. This early alliance helped shape both human survival strategies and canine evolution. Fact 2. Domestic dogs descend from an extinct wolf population. Modern dogs did not evolve directly from today's gray wolves, but from an ancient wolf lineage that no longer exists. Genetic evidence shows this ancestral population diverged tens of thousands of years ago. While modern wolves are close relatives, they are more like evolutionary cousins than direct ancestors. This explains why dogs display behavioral traits not seen in wild wolves today. Domestication followed a unique evolutionary path, separate from surviving wolf populations. Fact 3. Domestication reshaped dog brain structure. Selective breeding altered key brain regions linked to fear, aggression, and social tolerance. Compared to wolves, dogs show reduced reactivity and a greater capacity for social bonding. These neurological changes made them more adaptable to living alongside humans. Over generations, traits that favored cooperation were reinforced. The result is an animal biologically predisposed to coexist within human environments. Fact 4. Dogs became the most morphologically diverse mammal through selective breeding. No other mammal shows the physical variation seen in domestic dogs. Body size alone ranges from very small companion breeds to large working animals with vastly different skeletal structures. Skull shape, limb length, coat texture, and ear form vary dramatically across breeds. These differences emerged rapidly through controlled breeding practices. This makes dogs one of the most visually and structurally diverse species on Earth. Fact 5. A dog's sense of smell operates at a different scale than ours. Dogs possess around 300 million scent receptors, compared to roughly 6 million in humans. Their brains also devote a larger proportion of processing power to analyzing smells. This allows them to detect extremely faint chemical traces in the environment. What appears odorless to humans can contain detailed information for a dog. Their perception of scent functions as a primary way of understanding the world. Fact 6. Dogs can detect diseases through scent alone. Changes in human body chemistry can produce subtle odor signatures that dogs are able to identify. With training, some dogs can detect conditions such as cancers or infections by scent. This ability relies on their sensitivity to volatile organic compounds released by the body. In controlled settings, detection accuracy can be remarkably high. Fact 7. Each dog's nose print is biologically unique. The ridges and patterns on a dog's nose form a distinct structure that differs from one individual to another. These patterns remain stable over time, similar to human fingerprints. Because of this consistency, nose prints can be used for identification purposes. Some systems have been developed to catalog these patterns digitally. This uniqueness reflects the fine structural variation present even within a single species. Fact 8. Dogs have a secondary chemical sensing organ. In addition to the main olfactory system, dogs possess a vomeronasal organ that detects pheromones. This organ processes chemical signals related to social and reproductive behavior. It allows dogs to gather information that is completely undetectable to humans. These signals can influence interactions between individuals. This system operates alongside standard smell to provide a more complex sensory picture. Fact 9. Dogs can hear frequencies humans cannot detect. Dogs can perceive sounds at much higher frequencies than humans. This allows them to detect noises that are completely inaudible to us. High-pitched signals, including those used in training tools, fall within this range. Their sensitivity also makes them more responsive to subtle environmental sounds. This expanded hearing range plays a key role in awareness and communication. Fact 10. Dogs perceive motion more effectively than detail. A dog's vision is optimized for detecting movement rather than fine visual detail. They can notice motion at greater distances than humans, even when objects are small or partially obscured. This makes moving targets easier for them to track. However, stationary objects may appear less defined. Their visual system prioritizes rapid detection over clarity. Fact 11. Dogs see a limited color spectrum. Dogs do not perceive the full range of colors visible to humans. Their vision is primarily sensitive to blues and yellows, while reds and greens appear muted or indistinct. This difference comes from having fewer types of color-detecting cells in the eye. As a result, their perception of the environment is less color-rich but still functional. Fact 12. Puppies are born without sight or hearing. At birth, puppies rely entirely on touch and smell to navigate their surroundings. Their eyes remain closed, and their ear canals are not yet open. Over the first weeks of life, these senses gradually develop. This early stage limits their awareness, but protects developing sensory systems. Their initial dependence shapes early behavior and bonding. Fact 13. Dogs regulate body temperature through panting. While dogs have functional sweat glands in their paw pads, these provide minimal cooling for their large bodies. Instead, they rely on panting as their primary thermoregulation method, using evaporative cooling from the tongue and respiratory tract to dissipate heat. They also utilize vasodilation, expanding blood vessels in the ears and face to release heat into the air. This multi-layered system allows them to manage their core temperature during exercise or in warm conditions. Fact 14. Dogs have a third eyelid that protects and lubricates the eye. Dogs possess a nictitating membrane, often referred to as a third eyelid. This structure moves across the eye to provide additional protection and moisture. It helps remove debris and supports tear distribution. The membrane is usually not visible unless the eye is irritated or the dog is resting. It plays a quiet but important role in eye health. Fact 15. Dogs dream during structured sleep cycles. Brain activity during sleep shows that dogs experience REM cycles similar to humans. During this phase, their brains are highly active, and dreaming occurs. Physical signs such as twitching or soft vocalizations may appear. These movements reflect internal neural activity rather than external awareness. Sleep is an active and complex process for dogs. Fact 16. Dogs can learn and recognize large vocabularies. Some dogs have demonstrated the ability to understand and distinguish a large number of spoken words. They can associate specific sounds with objects, actions, or outcomes. This ability depends on repetition, reinforcement, and individual cognitive capacity. In certain cases, dogs can retrieve named items from a group. Their language comprehension, while limited, is more advanced than often assumed. Fact 17. Dogs can interpret human emotional expressions. Dogs are able to distinguish between different human facial expressions and vocal tones. They can respond differently to signals of anger, happiness, or distress. This ability helps guide their behavior in social interactions. It is based on both visual and auditory cues. Their sensitivity to human emotions supports their role as companions. Fact 18. Dogs form biochemical bonds with humans. Interactions between dogs and humans trigger the release of oxytocin in both species. This hormone is associated with bonding and social attachment. Activities such as eye contact or physical touch can increase its levels. This creates a reinforcing cycle that strengthens relationships over time. The connection is supported by measurable biological processes. Fact 19. Smaller dogs tend to live longer than larger dogs. Across domestic dogs, lifespan generally decreases as body size increases. Smaller dogs often live significantly longer than larger breeds. This pattern contrasts with many other animal groups, where larger size can correlate with longer life. It remains one of the more unusual patterns in mammalian biology. Fact 20. Dogs rely on body language more than vocal sounds to communicate. Dogs communicate primarily through posture, movement, and subtle physical cues rather than vocalizations. Changes in ear position, body tension, and stance can signal intent or emotional state. Vocal sounds like barking or whining are secondary and often context-dependent. Other dogs interpret these physical signals quickly during interactions. This makes visual communication central to their social behavior. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tap the like button and subscribe for more facts videos if you enjoyed this one. Feel free to also leave a comment below if you learned something new. Until next time, take care.